Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is Tariq Amin, lecturer, Department of English, Kuwait University of Science and Technology, Kuwait. A very warm welcome to the course of Functional English. This is the video number 2 of the lecture number 25. In the video number 1 of the lecture number 5, we discussed adverb and different types of adverb. In this second video of the lecture number 25, we are going to discuss position of adverbs. Discussion agenda of today's class include: first of all, we will discuss position of adverbs. After that, we will discuss three positions of adverbs, and then adverbs used in any of the three positions. And after that, we will discuss position of adverbs of manner, place, and time in one sentence. Let's discuss three positions of adverbs. The three positions there where an adverb can be used. The very first one is the front position of adverb. For example, gradually he changed his mind. In this example, we can see that the adverb gradually has been used at the very front of the sentence. We can use adverbs at the very front of sentences. We can use adverbs in the beginning of sentences. And this very first example, gradually, is an adverb and it has been used in the beginning of the sentence. It has been used in the front of the sentence. And another example is, sometimes I play cricket with my friends. Once again, we can see that the adverb sometimes is used in the front of the sentence. It is used in the beginning of the sentence. So we can use adverbs in the front of sentences, at the beginning of sentences. Another position where an adverb can be used is the middle of a sentence. For example, they always speak English. In this example, always also show always is an adverb and it is used in the middle of the sentence. And we are almost ready. In this example, almost is an adverb and it has been used in the middle of the sentence. So we can use adverbs in the middle of sentence as well. A third example is I've never said that. In this example, like in the example number 1 and 2, the adverb never has been used in the middle of the sentence. It is not used in the beginning, is not used in the end of the sentence. Instead, it is used in the middle of the sentence. The third position, this is the second position. Note, this is important note. With man verbs, the adverbs come before the verb. There are different types of verbs. With man verb, the adverbs come before the verb. For example, they always speak English. In this example, speak is a man verb. And we can see that the adverb always has been used before it. It has come before the man verb. Whereas with be form of the verb, these are different be form of the verbs. Be forms of the verb such as is, am, are, was, were, etc. These are be forms of the verb be, the verb to be. With be, it comes after the verb. For example, we are almost ready. It is be form of the verb and we can see that the adverb almost is used after be, after or. And with auxiliary verbs and with modal verbs, with auxiliaries and modal verbs, it is placed after the auxiliary verb or after modal verb, between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. We have discussed what auxiliary verbs are. We have discussed what are modal verbs: will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. These are different examples of auxiliary verbs. With auxiliaries and modal verbs, adverbs are placed after the auxiliary verb. They are placed in between auxiliary verbs and the main verbs. Let's discuss some examples I have never said that. In this example, have is an auxiliary verb, and we can see that never is used after it. And said is man verb in this example. Said is man verb in this example. Have is an auxiliary verb in this example, and we can see that the adverb never has been used in between these two types of verb, auxiliary verb and man verb. And with auxiliary verb, we can see that it is used after it. Another example is she will probably join us. Join is main verb, whereas will is a modal verb, and we can see that the adverb probably has been used after the modal verb will, and we can also see that the adverb probably has been used in between the auxiliary, the modal verb will, and the main verb join. The third position where an adverb can be used is at the end of sentence. At the end of a sentence, we can use adverbs at the end of sentences as well. For example, he spoke about his plan at the meeting. In the previous video, we discussed that an adverb can be a single verb, it can be a phrase, and it can be a single verb, it can be a phrase as well. And we can see that at the meeting is not a single word, it is a phrase. He spoke about his plans at the meeting, and we can see that we have used this adverbial at the end of the sentence. And she has been attending the English class regularly. She has been attending the English class regularly on a regular basis, and regularly is adverb, and this adverb is used at the end of the sentence. Okay, now there are adverbs that can be used in any of the three positions. The following adverbs can be used in any of the three positions in a sentence. We can use them in the beginning of a sentence, we can use them in the middle of a sentence, and we can use them in the end of a sentence as well. They can take any of the three positions in a sentence. The first type is adverb of manner. Adverb of manner can be used in any of the three positions. They can be used in the beginning of a sentence, they can be used in the middle of a sentence, and they can also be used in the end of a sentence. They can take any of the three positions in a sentence. For example, in this chapter we briefly examine the latest developments in linguistics. In this example, we can see that the adverb of manner briefly has been used in the middle of the sentence. Whereas in the second example, we can see that the adverb briefly has been used in the beginning of a sentence. It has been used in the front of the sentence. And in the third example, we can see that the adverb briefly has been used in the end of the sentence. He explained the situation briefly. Briefly is an adverb, and it has been used in the end of the sentence. So we have seen that the adverbs of manner can take any of the three positions. It can be used in the middle of a sentence, it can be used in the front of a sentence, and it can also be used in the end of a sentence. Another type of adverb is adverb of time. Adverb of time can also be used in any of the three positions. They can be used in the beginning, they can be used in the middle, and they can be used in the end of a sentence. For example, the situation suddenly changed. Suddenly is an adverb, and this adverb modifies the verb changed. And we can see that this adverb has been used in the middle of the sentence. Now, we can use this adverb at the end of the sentence as well. For example, the situation changed suddenly. Suddenly is an adverb, and we can see that it has been used in the end of the sentence. Another example is suddenly the situation changed. Suddenly has been used in the front of the sentence. So adverbs of time can be used and any of the three positions. In the first example, we saw that it has been used in the middle of the sentence, and the second example we can see that it has been used in the end of the sentence, and in the third example we can also see that it has been used at the beginning of the sentence. Adverbs of probability are another types of adverbs that can be used in any of the three positions. For example, this is obviously a mistake. Obviously is an adverb and it has been used in the middle of the sentence. This is a mistake. Obviously is used at the end of the sentence. And obviously this is a mistake. So obviously is used at the beginning of the sentence. So adverbs of probability can also be used in any of the three positions. Adverbs of aspect can also be used in any of the three positions. Let's discuss some of the examples. Now, technically this is no problem. This is adverb of aspect and it shows that technically there is no problem. And we can see that technically has been used in the beginning of the sentence. It has been used in the front of the sentence. There is no problem technically. Technically is used at the end of the sentence. And this is technically no problem. Technically is an adverb and it has been used in the middle of the sentence. So adverbs of aspect can take any of the three positions in sentences. Now positions of adverbs of manner, place and time in one sentence. What if you have all these types of adverbs in a single sentence, what would be their positions? Let's discuss them. Normal positions of the adverbs are, for example, if you have a sentence where you have adverb of manner, adverb of place and adverb of time in your sentence, now what would be their positions? First of all, you will use adverb of manner. After that, you will use adverb of place, and after that, you will use adverb of time. For example, he worked very hard last semester. We can see that we have used very hard, which is an adverb of manner, before adverb of time. When you have adverb of manner and adverb of time in a single sentence, you should use adverb of manner first, and after that, adverb of manner, adverb of time. For example, if you say that he worked last semester very hard, it would not be a good sentence. And in the second example, I didn't participate in that conference. I did not participate in that conference last year. So when you have an adverb of place and adverb of time in a single sentence, use adverb of place first and after that use adverb of time. I didn't participate in that conference last year. And in the third example is he explained that problem thoroughly. He explained that problem thoroughly at the seminar last week. In this example, we can see that we have these three types of adverb. We have adverb of manner, we have adverb of place, and we have adverb of time as well. When you have all these three types of adverbs used, first use adverb of manner, after that use adverb of place, and after that use adverb of time. For example, he explained the problem thoroughly at the seminar last week. The position of adverbs can be changed in order to, but we can change the position of adverbs as well in order to, first of all, if you want to emphasize attention, or you emphasize a verb, you draw attention to one verb, you can change its position. For example, last year I didn't participate in that conference. You want to emphasize this adverb last year. You want to emphasize the time. You show that last year, not this year, last year I didn't participate in that conference. Your focus is upon you want to emphasize this very adverb last year. You want to draw attention to this verb. You want to say that last year, it was last year where I didn't participate, in which I did not participate and that conflicts. And apart from it, you can change the position of adverbs in order to uh, when you want to avoid putting longest adverbs in the middle. For example, if you don't want to put longest adverb in the middle, you can change its position. For example, I quite happily I I lived quite happily for 1 year in one of the remotest places in the world. Now this is a very longest adverb, longest adverbial. This is very longest adverbial, and you don't want to put it in the middle of the sentence. That is why you can use it at the end of the sentence as well. If you want to avoid putting longest adverbs in the middle, you can change its position. And when you want to avoid placing too many adverbs in the end position, you can change their position as well. For example, in the mountains, it is dangerous to drive quickly in winter. Now, you can put this adverb phrase at the end of the sentence as well, but there would be there would be too many adverbs in the end position. That is why you can use it at the beginning of the sentence as well. You can change its position. When an adverb modifies an adjective or another adverb, the adverb usually comes before it. Yes, this is an important point. When an adverb modifies an adjective, we have defined adverb as a word that modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. When an adverb modifies an adjective or another adverb, the adverb usually comes before it. For example, the book is very interesting. Interesting is an adjective, and we can see that the adverb very has been used before it. He speaks quite well. Well is an adverb, and this adverb quite modifies it. And we can see that it has been used before it. And the adverb only should be placed immediately before the word it modifies. When the adverb only modifies a particular word, it is always placed immediately before it. For example, I worked only 3 hours. It modifies placed immediately before the word it modifies 3 hours, so only is used just before it. He has slept only 3 hours. Only is modifying 3 hours, so only has been used just before it. And the adverb enough, we also use this adverb enough to modify different words. This adverb enough is always placed after the verb which it modifies. For example, he spoke loud enough to be heard. So it modifies loud. It modifies loud, so that is why it has been used just after it. Only is used before the word, just before the word it modifies, whereas enough is used just after the word that it modifies. You can consult High School English Grammar Byron in Morton for this lecture. Thank you very much for listening to the video. Allah Hafiz.